I think a magnificent 7 victories on the road, and you don't want obviously any slip-ups now. 1967 was the last time that happened. There'd be no pressure at all.
Yeah, and Ron just told me that fact, and it is a bit of a mind-blowing fact. It's not saying a few seasons, it's a lot of seasons, and there's been a lot of ups and downs in that time for Spirite supporters, I'm sure. So that's a great stat. But like I said to yourself and Liam yesterday, the stats are great, but the only stat we want is to win the league come April or May. So long way to go, but hell of a stat, and it really highlights the achievement the lads are doing week in, week out. A long way to go. Teams behind us are hot on our tails, but 5 points is still a nice healthy gap at this stage.
I guess what it does show is that 7 consecutive victories is very hard to come by, not just by Chesterfield, but by any side.
Very, very hard game. Very, very hard to do that at any level of football. And if you look at our results, there have been 4-0s, 5-0s, 6-0. They've been like 2-1s, 3-2s. So we've come out on the right side of it, but we've worked so hard to get that, and that's a credit to the supporters and the players. Because you saw them today at the end, what it meant to those punters taking up nearly the whole of the side of that ground, because it was a different kind of second half. There wasn't the late goal drama and the shirts off and all of us running down the touchline. It was more of a come on, ref, blow your whistle. But you felt, I wouldn't say comfortable, but we're really happy with our defensive shape. I thought that the attacking lads worked back. James Berry, when he come on, worked back tirelessly. Those 5-10 minutes to help out the fullbacks and really put in a shift, and that's important, because the last thing you want when you're up against it is for everyone just to leave the back four and the goalie to it and leave them out, to hang them out to dry at times. We've never done that, and I'm sure we will continue not to do so.
How pleased with you with each half itself? Attacking sense for the first half and defensively in the second.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, we're disappointed with the goal really. It seemed like it was one straight ball, but that's life. Like I say to you, goals happen through mistakes, so we have to watch that back and analyse it like we always do. But yeah, no, attacking, it was good. I think even second half, thought, yes, we're on the front foot, we want to press, we want to get the ball as quick as possible, but sometimes you've got to drop a yard, you've got to sit, you've got to be compact, and then we've got the players to counter-attack. And I think bar a little bit of better decision making in the last 5 or 10 minutes, we could have scored 2 or 3 on the counter-attack. So there's loads of ways to win. We like to play a certain way, and we want that to get us over the line this year, but if you can't work with plan A, sometimes you've got to just slip slowly into plan B, and I thought we did as that game went on, whilst keeping the principles that we want to play with.
Complete to get 3 points at a side which are a good side as well, and they were 1 loss in 8 as well when they come into this game.
Yeah, good side, and got some good players at home, had the crowd behind them, and I think when you felt when they equalised that momentum was in for the next sort of 5 minutes or so, and it gradually shifted back to us, and that's only down to the players, and their will not to just go, we're going to take a point and that'll do us. Like I said to you, you come here and you respect the point, but you certainly go for the win.
Obviously there's one fly in the ointment as well. Mike Jones picked up his 5th yellow card. He'll miss Saturday, won't he?
Yeah, he'll miss that. It's a shame, but we've got 3 excellent players to play for those 2 positions. Maxie come on, done ever so well when he came on. Tom was excellent throughout, and DJ wasn't even on the bench, and what an excellent player he is. So I'm not saying that makes any decision easier, because you've still got to leave one out of those 2 players potentially. But yeah, I think it's only a 1-game ban, so Michael, I'm sure, will say he might need a rest.
I know it's been 7 wins on the bounce, but do you sense something this season that's different from the last 3, for example?
So anything you say comes thrown back in your face if it don't work out and you finish 15th in the table, which I'm sure we won't do. But I think there's a feeling around the town this year that we've all got a good buzz about what we're trying to do, and that's only because we've got a plan in place. We've got some good players. The manager makes his instruction clear, and we're all singing off the same page. And if any of those things change, then we're in trouble, but I don't think they will. So yes, there'll be days, there'll be little speed bumps. We've got to make sure for the days we have, hopefully not many of them, like we did at Altrincham, that's a 1-1, not a 2-1 defeat, because even those 1 points along the road will be massive, but at the minute we'll enjoy those 6 or 7 wins on the trot, and hopefully continue that run at Maidenhead. One
ground that Chesterfield has come unstuck at over the course of the National League is coming up on Saturday. It's never an easy task to go to Maidenhead, is it?
Not for anyone. I think, I'm not going to say the stats, I'm probably wrong with them, but they certainly beat last year and the year before at least 4 or 5 of the so-called fancy teams in the top 7. I think I'm right saying that, so it's tough. I think he's done wonders there over the year, Alan, with his resources, etc. Without being patronising or anything, he really has. With the slope on the pitch, and we'll be turning up, and it's big Chesterfield going to little old Maidenhead on paper, but they've been in this league for many years for a reason, and upset their critics for many years for a reason as well. and we've got to make sure that we go there as favourites and earn that tag when we get on the coach after.
802 Chesterfield fans made the journey tonight. It's on telly and everything. And you know, I mean, what a tremendous turnout.
They turn out and they make noise as well, and that's what's great at the end there. You can only try and say to them what it means to the players in there. It gives them such a buzz. You know, we've all got egos, we've all got sort of personalities in us, and it's great when they're clapping everyone for the players and singing all the players' names. Fantastic. So it's very much appreciated, and it's always better when you've got something to sing about.
Thanks.
No problem.